Hey guys, today I'm going to be mounting this 120 amp Anderson plug onto the outside of the battery box. This Anderson plug is going to go to the inverter, and yeah, I may as well do this, I thought, while the battery is being sent away. So in comparison, this is a 50 amp Anderson plug, your regular ones. This is 120, so you know it is fairly larger, as you can see. But yeah, it should be sufficient enough for the 1200 watt inverter I have that pulls 100 amps. 1200 watts is 100 amps. This is 120 it's rated for, so it should be fine. All I got to do is put the 2 BMS cable into the terminals that go into this, and mount it onto the outside of the box. So I'm just gonna do that now. So if you see my other video that I posted earlier, you would have seen how I crimp these terminals onto the cables. In that video I was using a different crimper because this is 2 BMS cable, and that other crimper that I like to use over the hydraulic one, it just doesn't crimp these terminals. These are just too big for that crimper, so I'm gonna have to use the hydraulic crimper for that, but that's no dramas, it still works great. Just gotta strip this insulation back and get into crimping it. It's pretty hard to strip some of these back sometimes. Almost got it. There we go. And we'll chuck that into the terminal like that. Actually, just sit that there. Keep on forgetting to put the terminal into here. Just find it easier to do it this way. Okay, now that actually fix that up a little crooked. That's why I like using that other crimper, because it's just much quicker. You don't have to muck around with any of this kind of stuff, trying to get it right all the time. So, but you do get there in the end. You just have to be patient. Okay, now I'll put this cable into the terminal, making sure that all the strands are in that terminal. Put some pressure on it so it's pushed all the way in. Start crimping down. Now usually I would have put heat shrink on first, but I can still put the heat shrink on over the terminals. I already know that I can. If you're not sure if you can or not, but always put the heat shrink on before. Okay, now I'll move this down and crimp it again. Basically, so it's like it's crimping it twice. And that should be on there pretty good. You can see these little wings. If you watch my other video, you see these little wings off to the sides. That's what I talk about in my video, that I don't like them. That's why I like using my other crimping tool, but it doesn't affect anything unless you're doing what I'm doing, which is pushing it into an Anderson plug. So hopefully these don't get in the way of pushing it in. Hey guys, so I've been at this for maybe 20-30 minutes now, and it's what I've been talking about with these hydraulic crimpers and Anderson plugs. they just don't work together. Reason why is because this is a uncrimped terminal. Once you've used the hydraulic crimper, it warps it and it has these wings that stick out. It just puts it in a bad shape to be able to push it into the Anderson plug. So I'm having a tough time pushing these in. I've kind of got them in, but I'm not happy with it. This one's kind of like, it won't pick it up on the camera, but this one here is kind of like off to the side a bit. It's not quite clipped in there right. I think the terminal's just stopping it from getting in there properly, which is a shame. So I'm gonna have to go back to the good old soldering these things, so I don't have a crimper that's big enough to do these. So I'm gonna have to just fill it up with solder and just push the wire into it, and do it that way. That way I can actually push these terminals into the Anderson plugs. So it's a shame I'm gonna have to cut this lug off it, because yeah, it's just not working. So yeah, so I'll get into that now. Okay, so it's been about another 10 minutes. I just got the Anderson plug, the terminal out of the Anderson plug. You can kind of see, hopefully you can see, that all the damage to this terminal. The heat shrinks basically just ripped to shreds all over it, and the Anderson plug, that's what I had to do to it just to get this out. And yeah, that's, like I said, these things just don't go together. It warps the terminals that bad that they can get stuck in here and you can't push them in, you can't even take them out. You won't be able to see on camera, but inside this you can see where it did get stuck. It was stuck on the plastic inside, and yeah, it became an absolute pain in the ass just to get it out. So now it's out, I'm gonna try and just redo the terminals and yeah, try and get this done before the sun goes down. Okay, so I just finished. I ended up just fixing the terminal, like working it back into shape using the hydraulic crimper. It took a bit of work, but I got there in the end, kind of getting it back into shape, because the crimp was still good. It was just the warp that was stopping it from going in, so I just fixed it, and there it is. So there's the 120 amp Anderson plug. Comparison, that's a 50 amp, your regular ones, so it is a lot bigger. And then yeah, it just goes through to these two cables here, the big ones. So pretty simple. And then next I got to go from the inverter to the box. So that'll be this cable here and this one over here. Just got to do these now, and then I'm finished. Okay, so I just finished the other end of the cable. So this side will go to the inverter, this side will go to the battery box, being right here. So it'll just clip in like that, and that's how the inverter will be connected to the battery, and be really easy to remove and plug back in whenever I want. It'd just be more convenient, and yeah, that's why I've done it. So yeah, I guess this will be the last video that I do, because I just sent the battery away today. So yeah, this will be the last video for probably 3 to 4 weeks. It'll probably be before I get the battery fixed or an outcome to whatever iTech World's going to do. So I'll see you in 3 or 4 weeks.